If you want a refund to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I do not blame you. And I'll tell you right now, if you want it, call Nintendo at 1-800-255-3700 if you're in US or Canada. Just tell them the game did not perform to your expectations, and they will give you your money back. If you don't want to talk to people, I get it. I hate it myself sometimes. You can also use the links in my description down below. They give you direct access to Nintendo's customer service lines, chats, emails, all of it. Reach out and let them know that this game did not live up to what you expected from a mainline Pokemon game. But if you're also wondering, how did we get here? How are we in a place where a mega Pokemon fan actually wants a refund to a mainline Pokemon game? I'm talking about myself. Before we get into why this game is so bad, I have to tell you that this breaks my heart to even have to do or even feel. My first big video on YouTube was a song I made called I Love Pokemon. It's a rap about Pokemon Black and White. That's how long in the tooth this thing goes. You know, my first big, huge, mega viral hit on YouTube was a series of videos called Pokemon First World Problems. I invented that. I made that. Pokemon Mystery Solved. Well, it was another set of videos I made that just showed my love and affinity for the platform of Pokemon and the franchise as a whole. And I even got featured in Forbes magazine for loving Pokemon. So you know if I have something bad to say, it's real, because I'm biased, y'all. I'm freaking biased. And it hurts that they put out a game of such low quality. Now, let's just be fair here and say the gameplay, the actual fun factor of the game is still on high. It still feels good to play the game. But the performance issues are so bad, so freaking bad, that I cannot recommend it to people. So what's so bad about it? Let's get into it. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are ugly, okay? And I get it, we're playing on a Switch. The games aren't gonna look amazing. This is what it is, right? But Super Mario Odyssey, that came out years prior, look and perform better than this game. A really good example I have is when you enter into the classroom for the first time, which keep in mind, you have 2 hours of storyline and setup and tutorializing before you actually get into the open world aspects of the game. And one of those things is going into the classroom and meeting your classmates, right? And in that first scene, all the kids are in slow motion, but you're normal. And it's actually funny, but it is not funny when you realize that you paid for this. You paid your hard-earned money for a game that is clearly not done being developed. Like, did they even QA this thing? I have to ask. You know, it's really buggy. Like you'll jump in the air with your legendary or your bike, if you will, and it'll get stuck in the air, and you're like, oh, is that part of the game? Nope, because the game just resets itself. I had my actual save data crash on me once. And in a Pokemon game, in any Pokemon game, that is inexcusable. I lost progress that I grinded to get because the game simply crashed. Now, luckily there was a fix for it and I got it back. But it's ridiculous that could even happen. It was even more ridiculous is when you see any kind of windmill in the game and all the windmills are running in really slow motion. Or when you get into a battle and the literal battle is glitching through itself, or any transition in the game, or when you go into a store and you leave a store, it just pops you out. And I'm like, wait, was that on purpose? Did I just get pushed out and it kicked me out? No, man, the game just goes, and it's jerky and it's awful. It hurts to see, but it's even worse to experience. The presentation of the game, especially the battles, have been better in the past. It just feels really mundane when you get challenged by somebody and it's kind of, look at you. And then there's no big pop-up with a big, shiny versus with all the graphics and the big cool stuff. It's just like, yeah, versus. I could have done that on Photoshop, I said to myself. Like, what is happening here? And then the camera was terrible until someone gave me the hint that you can just tap your right stick and it will put it into a classic mode of the camera. But even then, it's still not very good. And oftentimes the Pokemon are floating in the air. They shouldn't be floating in the air. You don't get a good view of what's happening with the action. And it just kind of sucks. You know? It just kind of sucks. However, I will say, the usual Pokemon charm is still present, though the game is buggy. I still find myself playing for hours on end. It takes me back to when I was a kid, sitting on my parents' stairs, literally playing with a big fat Game Boy, just playing until the battery's about to run out. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh crap, I have like so much battery left. I might be able to make it, I might be able to make it. I'm save. Like, I feel like that person again when I'm playing this game. Except somehow this game looks and performs worse than it did on the Game Boy, which I don't want to say, but it's just true. You know, it's just true. You know, the game has the same addictive charm and qualities it always has. I even argue that the open world format makes it even more addictive because you are now in control of your path and how you choose to challenge everything. You're not stuck on this linear kind of thing. But even more than that, I'll say that the game does a good job of introducing variety. So the game makes you go between a path of being a Pokemon trainer, a Pokemon Titan Whisperer, a combatant against a terrorist group, and of course, a Pokemon Master who takes over and beats all the gyms. You know what I mean? All the paths are fun, and it's great to break up the gameplay that way. Even though I will say that, quite frankly, you'll find yourself forced onto some kind of linear path because the progression is still the same as it has been in other games. So, for example, if you want to be able to capture and control Pokemon of a certain level, you have to have your badge. So you're actually kind of pushed into the idea of, well, let me go get my badges first, and then I'll go get the Titans, right? Or let me get my badges first up to a certain level, then I'll go get a Titan that matches that level. It just makes more sense. And then when you do get Pokemon later, let's say you do capture them outside of your rank, they really don't listen to you. I remember in the old game, sometimes they wouldn't listen. In this one, they really don't listen. So it's really important to have your badge. Like right now, in the game I'm playing, my Pokemon are really close to being at a level where they won't listen to me anymore. So now I have to stop my Titan trek to go and make sure I get to a gym and get that badge so my Pokemon will actually listen to me. It's really important, and I have to do it. But I will say, doing this has created a new sense of excitement and edge on my seatness, if you will, that wasn't in previous games, at least in the last couple of years, because as we all know, the games got really easy over the past few. And this creates a new sense of tension where I was in a battle where I was down to my last Pokemon. I didn't know if I was gonna make it, but I knew I had a Pokemon with a certain move. So I revived him last minute, let my current Pokemon in the party die, and then threw out my one with the one move I knew. Threw him out there, knew he was gonna get beaten. And by the grace of God, he absolutely made it. And it gave me a sense of accomplishment that I hadn't felt in the series in years. The Titan Path gives your legendary Pokemon that you ride on, different moves and different abilities that will help you as you traverse this open world. So you also want to stop and go do that too. So it makes you really go down those two paths more than any others. But it still has a great curve and a great battle sense that I absolutely love, that makes you excited and happy you're playing this game. So I will say that the several new elements they introduced to the game are very meh. I don't hate them, like making sandwiches or going on picnics or the auto battles. They're all cool mechanics that add a little something to the game, but not too much. I would even say the auto battles are pretty great because it helps you not have to grind and have to go run through grass and have to go find random fights. It does give you an opportunity to relax a little bit in between all the battling and whatnot. And it breaks up the monotony of the game. So I'll say that's actually a great addition they threw in this game. Terra types are interesting. They changed your Pokemon type, so it means the Pokemon you're battling and the Pokemon you have don't adhere to the normal rules. And so it makes it harder to defeat Pokemon you normally like just rip right through. And I love that. I really do. It makes the game even more challenging. That's something we've asked for a long time. So while visually I don't love the terraforms, like whatever, they're shiny, I guess, cool. What they actually do to the game makes it more enjoyable. Okay? So, but while the game is fun, I still feel like this is an unfinished game. They need to be QA'd, need to be worked through, and I don't understand how Game Freak, or Nintendo for that matter, let this happen. Like, I remember this happened a few years ago with Pokemon X and Y on the 3DS. If you got the wrong version of 3DS, if you got like one of the original versions of 3DS, the game ran like molasses in certain sections. And now that we're a full generation away from that, or several generations away from that, I don't get how they let it happen at all. I love Pokemon. I always have, but I cannot recommend this game in this state. It's really fun and you'll have a good time, but you'll also have to accept that your game might crash. You have to accept that the game will look like crap at times. You have to accept that the game isn't worth the $60 you spent on it. It's just not. I love a good bug. Shout out to Missing though, you know what I mean? I love a good funny moment in a game, right? But not when it comes to the expense of the actual experience of the game. If it breaks your game, it's not worth it. If it destroys the integrity of the series, it's not worth it. So if you want a refund, reach out to Nintendo. Call the phone number, give them the hotline, like, hey, Nintendo, give me my money, because they didn't treat you right. Again, they don't always do this for digital games, but I know they do it for this one. I've done it myself. I got a refund. And I don't feel bad about it. And to be honest, if they fix the game and they patch it, I will 110% come back to the game, 110%. Give them more money. I'll be honest, I'm still gonna keep playing it because I am enjoying it, but it wasn't worth the money I spent on it, and that's just real. Like, if they even give you half off, that's an accomplishment. So again, call Nintendo at 1-800-255-3700. Light a fire under them. Let them know they can't release half-finished games and think we're gonna just pay for it. It sucks, because I love this series. I love Pokemon with all of my heart, all of my might. But I just can't recommend it to anyone else. I'm the Pokemon Gangster Nerd, y'all. It's a Pokemon Gangster Nerd, y'all, with Pokemon Gangster Nerd reviews. I want to say that. I want to make one of those videos for this. I wanted to celebrate this game. And I cannot do that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go swim around my channel. You'll see some really fun and some really weird things. But with that said, guys, I hate that I have to do this. I hate that I have to say it. But, you know, they didn't test the game. You know what I mean? Like, how do you guys feel? Have you guys played Pokemon Scarlet or Violet? If you haven't played a Pokemon game in a long time, what was the last one you played? Let's talk about it down below. Because I just feel like this is crazy. Like, they know that we are insane, right? Like, example, in the anime, right, which I haven't watched in years, I wore my Ash Ketchum hat, the classic one, to celebrate Ash winning the championship. That got announced everywhere. So I can't spoil you because they put it on Nintendo, put it on the Twitter, put it on the Instagram. It's all over the news. People have been talking about this everywhere, so I don't feel like I spoiled you for that. He won a championship. He's finally a world master, right? I had random people walking down the street going, yo man, like your hat, you heard he won? Did you hear he won? Did you know he won? The world! People who were like grown, like adults with babies, or letting me know because I'm wearing a hat that he won the championship. That's how much this franchise means to us. That's how much reach Pokemon has. That's how much respect you gotta put on its name. So to release a game on a system that can't handle it, you done goofed. Maybe they got into production and realized, oh crap, the Switch can't handle this. What are we gonna do? And then they're like, it's Pokemon. They'll just buy it. Don't worry about it. Now you should worry about it. You need to patch it. Patch it now. Patch Pokemon, please. PPP. Throw it out there. Anyway, guys, I need to go. I normally do scripts for these videos, but this one had to just come off the dome, come from the heart, and be honest about it, because it hurts me. It really does. Please do better next time. My name is Chris, and I think this was a difficult video to make. Please like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Ooh.